Was machst du, Sheps? Hat dem herumgeringelt der Chevre Jungen. How are you doing, you sheep? A group of youngsters surrounded him. Nudete von Warten, bored of waiting. As a balabos soll sie kommen rufen, abschmieren a Porvent, waiting for some house owner to come and ask and hire them to paint a few walls. Ich heiße nicht Sheps, ich heiße Kalman. My name isn't Sheep. My name is Kalman. My Namen is Kalman, and my Familiennamen is Metis. My name is Kalman, and my family name is Metis. Nit was Herren, lachte Mois Isaacel Barash. There's nothing to listen to. Isaacel Barash laughs at him. Chotch heist Isaacel is a heucher darer young. Even though his name is Little Isaac, he is a tall, thin youngster, mit lange Hand und Fies, mit long arms and legs. Was kriechen heraus von seine kurze Arbel und schmale Häusen that peek out of his short sleeves and narrow pants. Alle in Stadt rufen dich Sheps. Everyone in the town is calling you Sheep. Wollen wir dich euch rufen Sheps? So we're going to call you Sheep too. Sind wann ruft man mich Sheps? When have people started calling me Sheps? Guckt sich Kalman herum. Kalman looks around. Wer wollt gesucht a Winkel, für sich zu behalten, as if we were looking for a corner to hide in. Bei dein Mamen, in Boich, hast du schon geheißen Sheps. When you were still in your mother's belly, you were already called Sheep. Nor du hast nicht ausgesagt dein Emerson Namen. But you didn't actually speak about your true name. Der erzählt dem Isaacel Barash. Isaacel Barash explains to him. Erst wenn du bist a Reus von Stadtschule a Gepatschter. It's only when you came out of the city synagogue having been slapped, haben sich alle der Bus, deine Emerson Namen. Then everyone recognized your real name. Nicht mich hat man gepatscht. Dem Unterschames hat man gepatscht. It wasn't me that they slapped. It was the undershamas, the secondary shamas that they slapped. Nicht was Herren. Nothing to hear here. Nothing to listen to here. Schreien die Maljares. Unsere breite, harte Brustkastens knacken Asch von Gelächter. The painters call out, and their broad, hard chests are shaking with laughter. Knacken, they are knocking with laughter. Wie bald man hat gepatscht dem Unterschames, bist euch gepatschter. Seeing as they slapped the undershamas, you're also someone they've slapped. Und wie bald man hat dein blatten Rebel reingelegt in Cherem, liegst du euch in Cherem. And seeing as they have placed your little rabbi under a ban, you're also under a ban. Now, I don't know what blot should mean there. Any guesses? Dein blatten Rebel.
Maybe ironically, kosher Rebbe, black, something like that.
Yeah, I do see there's an adjective blot meaning
I looked
illegal.
I looked it up. It
Illegal,
said
yeah.
underworld. In the dictionary was underworld.
Yeah, underworld or illegal. Okay, so you're
The opposite of what I said. Yeah.
Kalman füttert Zappel. Kalman starts shaking. Was heißt? Ich liege in Cherem? What do you mean? I'm under a ban? Und die Jungen quellen on. And the youngsters, we're on the next page, and the youngsters become swollen with joy. How's that? In Cherem, guter Bruder, in Cherem. You're under a ban, good brother. You're under a ban. Mentor mit ihm nicht reden, mentor leben, ihm nicht stehen, me darf von ihm weichen, wie von einem Ippisch. You're not supposed to speak to him. You're not supposed to stand near him. You're supposed to distance yourself from him as you would from something disgusting. Mehr nicht. Sie seien gute Brüder, stellen sie ein das Leben und chaveren sich mit ihm. But we're all good friends. And so we will place our life in jeopardy and we will still be your friend. Bist gelegen in Kimpet, was du weißt nicht, als du liegst in Cherem. Were you a pregnant woman giving birth that you don't know that you're under a ban? In labor, yeah. In labor, right. Giving birth, in labor, yeah. It's a Kimp is actually a shortened for kind bet. Yes. Schreien sie zu ihm, they call out to him. Is doch taka shep? So he must really be a sheep. Sein Novogoroder Weibel is schon gar nicht kein Sheps. Sie is a Weibele mit a Pfefferl. Now your little wife from Novgorod, she's not a sheep. She is a woman who has pfeffer, who has pepper. Kamen glotzt euch a paar Augen und entfert a verummerter. Kalman stares with his eyes, and he answers unhappily. As sein Weib is nicht from Novgorod, that his wife doesn't come from Novgorod. She is from Polotsker Gas. She comes from the street, from the Polotsk street. Aber die Maljares gewaltigen noch hecher. But the painters make even more noise. As is nita was seheren. There's nothing to hear, that what he's saying is not worth listening to. Sein Weibel ist stand von die Novgoroder Unterweltnikes. His wife comes from the underworld in Novgorod. It's Voinzi auf Polotsker Gas, but now she is living on the Polotsk street. Kennt doch sehen, der Scheps. Als sie stammt von die Novgoroder Unterweltnikes, he should be able to see this sheep, that she comes from the Novgorod underworld folk, like them, wie sie hat ihm herumgedreht und ausgeschmiert. From the fact that she twirled him about and smeared him, ausgeschmiert, and painted him, something like that, that she inveigled him. Kalman zet as a ganze Stadt lacht von him. Kalman sees that the whole city is laughing at him. In Hittel, but in Kittel. This is in their hat and in their, I don't know, Kittel. In this, Hittel and Kittel seems to be an expression. They're laughing in their fists, we would say in English. Der fühlt sich allehe, wollt gekrochen von a Leiter. Und anstatt wegstellen bei de Fies auf der Erde, hat ein Fuß reingestellt in ein Emmer mit Farbe. Mit dem zweiten Fuß ist verkrochen in a Topf mit Clay. He feels that as if he would have climbed down up from a ladder, but instead of putting both feet on the ground, he had placed one foot in a bucket of paint, and the second foot had entered into a pot of clay. What's clay? Paste.
Glue?
Paste.
Yeah, glue or paste. Yeah. Because the painter, I guess, would also be putting up wallpaper with paste. Krächzt und vertreut die Gewehren sein Schwerherz. He groans and he shares his painful feelings with his friends. Der Polotsker Dayen hat mich unglücklich gemacht. The Polotsker Dayen, that's Rab David, has made me unhappy. Schluck men Kaporis mit dem Polotsker Dayen und mit dieser Vibe. You just have to get rid of or consider as worthless this Polotsker Dayan, and such a wife. Anaya Devorah Esther tzadikas. Oh, this is a hard one to translate. This woman who seems to be such a pious one is just a new Deborah Esther, a Devorah Esther. And I don't know what the connotation of a Devorah Esther is. Any
It's
ideas?
just a name, maybe.
Yeah, maybe,
But
yeah.
don't you say tzadikis? Not
Yeah,
tzadikis.
I think,
Tzadikis.
yeah, I think you're right.
Thank you.
I'm just looking it up. Yeah, tzedekis. Right.
Thank you. Yeah. That's how my mother said it.
Yeah. And instead of a first little tsa, it's tzedekis, at least according to my dictionary. Okay.
Yeah.
Frag bei Moritzen, but der erzählen, was für a Tzatzke dein Weib is. You just ask Moritz. That's Tirolnik, the guy who wants to keep who has always wanted to marry her. Ask Moritz. He'll tell you what sort of a tzatzke your wife is, what sort of a plaything your wife is. Sie ist einmal gewesen mit ihm, kutzen you, mutzen you. She was once, how would you translate in the English? Kutzen you,
Having
mutzen
an
you.
affair with him.
Yeah, kutzen you,
Probably
mutzen you.
like lovey-dovey.
Yeah, lovey-dovey.
Yeah, lovey-dovey, yeah.
Yeah, in an amorous relationship with him. I'll read one more paragraph. Also sagt Isaac Barash. That's what little Isaac Barash says. Der langer Jung in kurzen Reckel. This tall fellow in a short coat, but in die schmale Häusen and narrow pants. Eis wie wollte sei herabgehabt von der Streck, which looked like he grabbed them off of a clothesline in a Hinterhof, in someone's backyard, wo sie haben sich getrickert, where they were drying. Kalman sieht sich bei seiner lange abgestandene Euren und erwidert, als sein Weib ist mit Moritz in keinmal nicht gewesen, Kutzenju, Mutzenju. Kalman stretches himself out in his with his long ears poking out, and he counters that his wife was never in an amorous relationship with Moritz. Moritz hat mit ihr gewollt Chassene haben, noch eder sie hat Chassene gehabt mit dem ersten Mann. Moritz had wanted to marry her even before she had married her first husband. Nor sie hat nicht gewollt, but she didn't want it. Good.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
When he refers to the Novgorod underworld, is this something like Chelm Fools or?
Yeah, I don't know anything about Novgorod. It means new town, but that doesn't help.
But it's Lithuania.
Yeah, well,
Right.
this is all taking place in Vilna, so makes sense that it would be somewhere in Lithuania. But I don't know any such expression.
Just
Yeah.
wonder.
I'll look it up in Stuchkov. No, I don't see it in Stuchkov.
Thanks.
So someone needs to take over now.
Okay. I'm going.
Good.
Als du bist vor der Chefs, geh red sich durch mit Moritzen, wird dir etwas erzählen. You steal a sheep. go talk it over with Moritz, so he'll tell you something. Hat schon etliche Mal gefragt auf dir. Will sich mit dir bekennen. He already asked about you a few times. He would like to get to know you. Komm, geben die Malieres Kalmenen ein Name unter die Orems und erzählen ihm, als Moritz dreht sich ständig herum, auf den Holzmarkt. Ist ein Seucher und handelt in Größen. Yeah. Marsha, do you mind going back to the two lines that I read before? Okay. Come. The painters are taking, are grabbing Kalman under the arm, and they tell him that Moritz is walking always around. Can you go forward? Around on the wood market. He is a businessman, and he is managing a big business. Carmen bet sich bei seinem Freund, sie sollen ihm ablosen. Will nicht haben zu tun mit Moischke Zirulnik, was ist von die Starke, von die Keuchgeher. Carmen is asking his friends that they should let him go. He doesn't want to deal with Moshke Zirulnik, who is from the strong ones. Again, of those that are physically capable. Aber die Maljares bleiben hart und taub zu Kalmens Tachnunim. But the painters remain deaf to Kalmans begging. Der Zirulnik hat sie zugesagt, a Schnaps und a guten Zubeiß verzustellen ihm dem Feldhasen. The Zirulnik promised them alcohol and good food for making him the field cantor. Trugen sie ihm unter die Arms wie ein Händele zu Kapores und gewaltig, wenn soll kein Mohren nicht haben. So they carry him under the arms, like one carries a chicken before Yom Kippur. And they are screaming that he shouldn't be afraid.
Just a sec. I looked up Koyach Geir. A Koyach Geir is at least according to Stuchkov, is a Goslin, a thief or a person in the underworld. So he's one of those Starke. He's one of those. He's part of the gangs.
I see. But it looks like it could be a synonym to Starke.
It does look that way, yeah. But he puts it under under Ganef.
Interesting. Thank you.
A holdupnik, or a gangster. There's near synonym.
Uh-huh. Thank you. Always learning. Trocken sie ihm unter die Arms wie this said it. Moritz ist ihm ein guter Freund, wird man in einem reingissen a Quart Bronfen und es wird werden geringer auf dem Herzen. Moritz is a good friend of his. So they will all at once push into him a certain dosage of alcohol that's and it'll be and he will feel better. He'll feel lighter, or relieved. Okay, in Schenk. That's in the inn. Moschke Zirulnik steht auf dem Markt bei Erwogen mit Sektzibeles, Meeren, Kartoffeln und patscht a Grinsverkäufer in Hand rein, soll masking sein auf den Preis. Moschke Zirulnik is standing in the market by a cart with bags of onions, carrots, potatoes, and he is punching a vegetable salesperson. Is he is hitting him in the hand. He should agree to the price. That is his bargaining about the price of the vegetables. Bei dem Markthändler ist es ein ausgeprüftes Mittel. With the salesman of that market, this is a proved way to handle. Men fraske dem Poyer a so lang auf der Glonje, bis sie nehmt im Beißen, wird angeschwollen, ist maskim. Aber sich versporen dem Wetter. They hit the farmer for so long on his on his hand until it starts hurting him. It becomes swollen, and then he agrees, as long as he can save himself from the pain. Moischke, der seht, wie die Maljares trocken unter die Orems a klein Jidl und schreien, Moritz. Moischke sees how the painters are carrying under the arms a little Jew and are yelling, Moritz. Los der Rob dem Grinkverkäufer mit der geschwollener Glonje und seine kleine, schmalzige Egerlach werden noch kleiner. So he is leaving the vegetable salesman with the swollen hand and his a tiny fatty eyes. The tiny fatty eyes are becoming smaller. Das ist der Poyer von die Bulbes, stellen die Maljares Farema weg das Jidl. This is the farmer of the potatoes. The painters are saying are putting down that Jew. She's Kalman, ihr Mann, weiß doch wemens. This is Kalman, her husband, you know whose. ומנס kann sich der Zirulnik בשום אופן nicht dermonen. Whose Zirulnik cannot, can in no way remember. Der Agunes Mann, dein Ljubavnitzes Mann, sagt Icicle Barash. Oh, the husband of the Aguna, the deserted wife, the husband of your lover, Icicle Barash says. Der Agunes Mann zieht Moritz mit die Achsel. Wir wohl gehabt bilchere Geschäften. Und tut a Hucke auf den heuchen Darren Maler, wer geharget in a goischer Gas. Wer geharget in a goischer Gas, it tells him. The husband of the deserted woman, deserted wife, Moritz stretches or moves his shoulder as if he had better business, and he took a hookah.
A hookah is a knock or a blow.
Okay.
It can also mean
Okay.
a shout. It can be a shout.
Uh-huh. See, who can is also no, that's schluckert. Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you. So wer gehaget in a goischer gas is cursing it. Get killed in on a Goyish street, on a non-Jewish street. Was hast du etwas zu erzählen, die Agune, als die Agune ist gewinn mein Lubavnitze? Why do you have to tell that the deserted wife was my lover? Ertem nicht, Reb Kalman, zieht ach on. Don't listen to him, Reb Kalman. He's just fooling you. He's lying to you. Die Jungen gucken sich über. The young ones are watching. Der Zirulnik spielt die Komödie. The Zirulnik is playing the comedy, playing the game. Nur Kalman guckt schon auf ihn mit mehr Zutreu und weniger Schreck, but Kalman already looks at him with more trust and less fear. Aber wenn Moritz tut dem freundlicher fragt, sie will nicht reingehen in ein Restaurant, nehmen einen guten Zubeiß, wird Kalman verzapfelter. Ist nicht kein Treffes. But when Moritz asks him in a friendly way if he wants to go into a restaurant to take a good bite, Kalman becomes upset. He does not eat non-kosher food. Und ich esse den Treffes? Fragt Moritz an der Stunde. Do I eat non-kosher food? Fragt Moritz an der Stunde mit der Hand auf den Herzen und legt Kalman vor. Okay, so somebody take over, please.
I think it's pronounced usually tarfus in this context.
Is it? Does it? Tarfus?
Yeah. It comes, of course, from Trafe, but I think it's Tarfus. Yeah.
Okay. Depends who your parents were, how they spoke.
Michael Tarfazan. I'm just looking up in Naborski, and he certainly pronounces it Tarfus.
But my mother knew better
Of
than
course.
Niboski. Okay. Thank you. Somebody else take over.
Well, does Jacob want to, or I can?
You go ahead.
Okay. Um, When ik is ten tarfus, and do I eat unkosher food? Fragt Moritz hat der Steunter mit der Hand auf dem Herzen und legt kommen vor auskleiben, was will. So Moritz asked him, surprised, with his hand on his heart, and proposes to him that he should choose wherever he wants to go. Will können sie reingehen in Savoy? If he wants to, they can go into the Savoy. Wer es ist nicht gewesen in Savoy, der weiß nicht von Leben. Who hasn't been into the Savoy hasn't enjoyed life. Aber Reb Kalman is nur stark hungrig, but if Reb Kalman is really hungry, können sie reingehen in ein Restaurant, wo man zahlt nicht für die Gerichten. They can go into a restaurant where you don't pay for the dishes, nor für der Zeit, was man isst, just for the time that you spend eating there. Wie viel schon man isst, however many hours you eat, so viel Geld zahlt man, so much you have to pay. Is niet hungrig, he isn't hungry, aber sie wollen sie in ergens nicht gehen. If so, they won't go anywhere. They wollen bloß reingehen in Kellerl an Kegenmark, wo man kriegt gar nicht. They will just go into the cellar over the road from the market where you don't get anything außer galart jelly, other than jelly, gehackte Leberlach, chopped liver, fish knedels, dumplings, vleesknedelig, meat dumplings, beer and bromfen, beer and brandy, meer gornit, more, nothing else. Die Gebre geht dem kalmen Chefs wieder an ihm unter die Arms, when either beweist Pipston, so the company grab him under his arms, and before he can say anything, squeak, kaikelt sich die ganze Kampagne runter in Kellerl, was wickelt allemaal herum mit Paarknäulen. And so they all tumble into, the whole company tumbles down into the cellar that surrounds everyone with balls of para steam, clouds. Bei die Tischach in der Kneipe, at the tables at the bar, sitzen Trägers und Markhändler, porters and market merchants are sitting, Jungen in leibendene Rubaches, young guys in linen shirts, aufgenäht von Prostazek, knitted from common sacking, in Heuchestiefel and in high boots. The guests reicheren, the guests are smoking, speien auf dem Deal, spit onto the floor, gissen dem Rumpfen in die aufgerissene Gordeln, pour down the brandy into the wide open gullets, throats, und schreien mit häserliche Keules, and shout out with loud, hoarse voices. Schweren sich mit Teutschwurs, swear with deadly oaths. Sorry? Oh.
Oaths.
Sorry?
Oaths.
Oaths, yeah, oaths. Die reingekommene maar die jaren zijn en door oft orchim. The painters who come in are often visitors here. Given zij flink und geschickt a schartschneu verhalb tutsbenkalach aromatischel. So very efficiently and quickly they push together half a dozen benches around the table und losen durch Moischke und losen durch Moischke Tirolnik oben, and they seat Moshe Tirolnik at the head. Fundavut, who he's treating them, is Kaiser, so he is the king or the Kaiser. Kalman and Gitman Stuparein in mitten. They push Kalman into the middle there, non to Moritz, near to Moritz, when Chevre quetschen a room im von alle Seiten, and the company squeeze around him from all sides. Soll viele sein Vogel, even if he was a bird, but schon nicht rausfliehen. He wouldn't be able to fly away. Die Jungen drehen euch die hungrige Pnimer zum Buffet. The young people turn their hungry faces to the buffet. When in a Rega wachsen euch herum sie Meuten mit zerflammter Pnimer, and in a moment maidens, the waitresses, gather around them with flushing cheeks, in brudige, vaardiger and in dirty aprons. Moritz tut a wunk to the Kellnerkes. Moritz winks at the waitresses und die Mariares bestellen auf sein Kirschen, was Herz gusten. And the painters order at his expense what their hearts desire. Der Tisch wird bestellt mit Fläscher Schnaps. The table is filled with flasks of some kind of drink, Schnaps, Schnaps, Fläscher beer, flasks of beer, theegläser, teacups, tea glasses, kelishiklich, und weichliche Kuflen. So there will be small glasses, a kelishol, and large, like having a tummy, large cups. Sorry, a goblet. A marinierte herring in milk, marinated herring in milk. A herring holt as a schwimmt in milk. A herring really likes to swim in milk. Schreit einer one shots. Und a zweiter bestellt gehackte Leberlach. And a second one orders chopped liver. Fußnoge, calf's feet, aber mit a Sachstückle Fleisch in Knobel, unknobel, but with a lot of pieces of meat and garlic. Die Abendadriter, third one calls, und bei es Maße geht sich arrive differences, and while doing this he strokes his moustache. Wir die Abendadriter arrive differences, wir wollt ungespart am Messer, as if he was ungescharft am Messer, as if he was sharpening a knife. Die Chevre gist on Schnaps in Teegläser. The company are pouring out alcohol in tea glasses. The Chaim Moritz, wir sollen sein gesund. Long life, or to life, Moritz. We should all be well.
Let me interrupt for a sec here.
Sure.
It's the Fistnog is a really interesting one, because in the northern accent, you can't distinguish the word for feet and the word for fish. They're both fish. And so, so noga is a Slavic word meaning foot. And if you want to mean fish, you say fisribi. which is using the Slavic word for fish. So fisnoga and fisribi refers to feet, in this case, as you say, calves' feet, and fish. And that's a northern accent peculiarity. Of course,
Yeah,
this
that's
is Vilna.
interesting because my dad used to say fish and shill and all of those words, whereas the Lithuanian side of the family did not do that. Anyway,
Yeah.
No, it's a Slavistic lesson.
That's right.
Yeah, and you're familiar with this in the Siseles Winter Fisele.
yeah,
Yeah.
fish.
In the Siseles Winter Fisele. Yeah.
And this is a fisribi, nicht kein fisnoga.
I understood Fusnoga as Pachon.
Yes,
It may well be. It may well be.
jollied calves' feet. Yeah, pcha.
Yeah.
Is pcha a general North European dish, or is it more Lithuanian?
Don't know.
Yeah, because yeah. Anyway, would Jacob like to take over?
So it's trinkt Gesundheit. Is that where we started?
Yeah.
Okay. Trinkt Gesundheit, entfert Moritz, mit melancholischen Kuckele von durchgetriebenem Jung, was weiß als man bearbeitet ihm. So drink to your heart's content, answered Moritz, with a melancholy glance, the melancholy glance of a youth who's been chased away and knows that they are taking advantage of him. Hat die Holodranzes zugesucht a Schnaps und a Zubeiß fahren zustellen ihm dem Chips. He had promised them, these ruffians, these ragamuffins, a drink and something to eat for bringing, if they brought him the ships, the sheep. Griechen zij im Arum wie dem Kopf von a herring. And so they are chewing him as if he were the head of a herring. Nor Gotch, es nimmt ihm die Nachbar, muss schweigen. Gedei der Feldhasen und Farben Schmierer soll sehen, als hat dort zu tun mit a breiten Menschen. Still, nevertheless, I couldn't find this word nachpa.
It's nichpe.
In your
Nichpe
Pardon?
is nichpe, epilepsy.
Sorry, I didn't catch.
It's nichpe, epilepsy. Even if he should become epileptic, he still has to be quiet. We could
Okay.
apoplectic, perhaps. Apoplectic.
Okay. One has to remain silent so that the cemetery chazan should and the painter should see that he is dealing with a generous person. Isaacel Barash Otakishke Onadek. Isaacel Barash I think must have ordered a kishka without
No,
a
No,
top
no,
on
no.
it.
He's got an-
He's never satisfied with food. He can eat and eat.
he has
He-
he has an intestine without a limit.
Yeah, he
Oh,
wants to eat
okay.
all the time, no matter what you feed him or how much.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Bestellt alles, was Moil kann rausreden und reißt die volle Tellers bei die Kellnerkes von die Hand. So he orders whatever one can put in one's mouth. Whatever a mouth can say, and he tears the dishes from the hands of the waitresses. Wie wollt Bedeier gehabt, einzuschlingen die Macholim in einem mit die fette weibische Hand, was trocken sei. So he grabs the plates from the waitress's hands as if he wanted to swallow down the dishes together with the fat female hands of the waitresses, which are carrying them. Kijkt auf beide bakken, bis schweiß schluckt him a rois auf den ponim. He chews with his mouth full and breaks out in a sweat as on his face. Und bei Meise comfort dem Zerulnik. And at the same time, he flatters Moritz, the Zerulnik. Moritz, was hast du heint nicht angetan dein weißen seidenem Halstuch? Moritz, why didn't you put on your white silk cravat today? Moritz, men sagt, als du hast Papyrusnitzer ausgesetzt mit Brillanten. Moritz, people say that you have a cigarette holder which is studded with diamonds. Herst Kalmenke, do you hear Kalmenke? Als du wirst durchgehen ganz Wilna in der Breite und in der Länge, wirst du nicht gefunden als einen guten Bruder wie Moritz. You can go the length and the breadth of Vilna and you won't find a nicer fellow than Moritz. Gießt sich Eisikel ohne Kuppelbier und kehrt ihm gleich herein. So Eisikel pours a mug of beer and he drinks it down. Was trinkst du nicht, Moritz? Why aren't you drinking, Moritz? Was isst du nicht, Moritz? And why aren't you eating? Ich wart auf Reb Kalmanen, antwortet der Markhändler. I'm waiting for Kalman, answers the market tradesman. Ich habe euch noch früher gesagt, als ich es nicht kann treifes. I told you earlier that I don't eat any non-kosher food. Jetzt sich Kalman a Korcha wie a Wolf wollt ihm eingeladen zu a Suda. So Kalman squirmed like a as if a wolf had invited him to a meal. Und ich habe gemeint, als ihr wilt nicht essen kein heiß gekocht Fleisch, Tomer is es nicht kosher. And I imagined that you didn't want to eat any hot cooked meat in case it wasn't kosher. Aber was kann sein nicht kosher in kalter gehackter Leberlich? But what can be unkosher in cold chopped liver? Gist Moritz on Kellischikel die Grace von a Fingerhut verkalmenen und für sich gist on 3/4 von a Teiglos. So Moritz poured in a small glass as big as a thimble for Kalman, and for himself, he poured 3/4 of a tea glass. Gorgelt rein dem Schnaps und verbeißt nicht. He guzzles down the liquor, and he doesn't eat anything. Verkrimmt sich nicht a viele, and he verkrimmt sich nicht. He doesn't even
Grimace.
verkrimmt is to frown. Yeah, I'm not sure how to translate
Yeah,
that.
I think the Verbeißen and Verkrimmen have to go together. So he tosses it down and he doesn't even make a grimace. And so Verbeißen, I'd have to translate that not as usual to take a snack, but it doesn't bite him, something like that. He doesn't make an expression of pain at having tossed down 3/4 of a tea glass full of strong alcohol.
Okay. Zieht Bläuser rein in seine Nusslöcher, dem Reich von schwarzen, frischen Brot, und guckt mit Bittel auf sein Mittrinker. Nu, so he simply breathes in the smell of the fresh black bread, and he looks with disdain at the people who are drinking with him. And I think this refers to Moritz. Kalmen geht am Murmel a Broche und trinkt euch die Keleschikel Biskel Deck, wie zu beweisen Bergeschaft. So Kalman mumbles a Broche, and he drinks the small glass right completely. He drains it completely, as if to show that his the achievement of drinking. Aber verkrimmt sich wie von Ritzenale und krächzt
Bergeschaft is not ability. Bergeschaft is a skill at something. His skill at drinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
She's a berje in Stuhl, yeah.
And the accent is on Kellischikel. It's a Kellischikel.
A Kellischikel, okay. But he grimaces as if he were drinking castor oil, and he krijgt op, he groans. Avera goreris avera, a sin brings one to another sin, trachter. He thinks to himself. Hat angeheben mit einer AGUNE und säuft schön mit Chevre in a Schenk. He started up with an AGUNE, and now he's drinking with Chevre, with guys in a bar. Mit nemen noch zu bislach gist Moritz wieder ohne Gläsel für sein Gast und einen halben Teiglos für sich. So take another little drink. And Moritz pours again a glass for his guest and half a tea glass for himself. Guckt auf Kalmanen wie a Sergeant auf a Recruit, was kann noch nicht halten, ab kein Bix. Zalpom. He looks at Kalman like a sergeant, in the same way that a sergeant looks at a recruit who has never handled a gun before. And Zalpom, it's a volley, a shot. As
I don't find
a
that.
young vibe, als man nimmt a young vibe, darf man euch kennen trinken. If you marry a young woman, you also need to be able to drink. Wer es kann nicht trinken, kann euch nicht kein andere Sachen. Whoever can't drink can't do other things as well.
I looked up Zalpom. It's a Russian word, and it means in one shot, at one gulp.
Okay. One gulp. Okay.
It's like to say bottoms up.
That makes a lot of sense. Pardon?
It's like bottoms up
Yeah.
or gambai.
Okay. Okay. Hat Mestome nicht versucht, kein Leck Bromfen sind Simchas Torah. You probably haven't had a drop of liquor since Simchas Torah. Simchas Torah is im kein Bromfen nicht gelegen in Sinnen. On Simchas Torah, he didn't think about liquor in any way. Hat jenem Tag gehabt Pitch über dein Ljubovnitsa. On that day, he received slaps over your lover, schreit Ezekiel Barash to Moritzen. Ezekiel Barash shouted to Moritz. Nicht mich hat man gepatscht, dem Unterschammes hat man gepatscht. So they didn't slap me, they slapped the secondary Shamus. Sagt Kalman, und Moritz halt mit ihm. As Kalman said, and Moritz agreed with him. Geht wieder dem Darren Maler sein Brocher. And he gave the thin painter his blessing.
Yeah, but it's ironic because he's about to cuss him out.
Yeah. Ironic, yeah. Wer geharget in a goyische gas. And it's a phrase which I don't think one can take literally. It's got to mean something else. Don't talk nonsense, perhaps.
Go jump in the lake.
Pardon?
Or
It's
go
like,
to hell, go to hell.
go to hell, go jump in the lake.
Go to hell, yeah.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
get lost.
Get lost, yes. Git Reb Kalman and Reb
Nit.
Kalman,
Nit Reb Kalman.
nit Reb Kalmanen hat man gepatcht, dem Untershammes hat man gepatcht. So they didn't slap Reb Kalman, they slapped the secondary Shammes. Guckt nicht auf ihm, Reb Kalman, guckt auf mir. Ich bin euch ein Freund. So don't look at him, Reb Kalman, look at me. I'm your friend. Für was seid ihr mir ein Freund? So how can you be my friend? Beißt Kalman op a stickel trucken kichel. Und kite is gich wie a weverke. So Kalman bit a small piece of dry kichel biscuit
Cookie.
and chewed it very quickly like a squirrel. Weil ich bin a verlitten Ingel, derfar bin ich euch a Freund. Because I am a long-suffering boy, and for that reason I'm your friend. En for Moritz, sehr schreiredig. Moritz answered him very bitterly. Tsar soll ich haben, ob ihr versteht mich. I have problems if you understand me. Wenn ein Hund geht a Leck von mein Herz, fällt versammter. When a dog licks at my heart, he falls down poisoned.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's if a dog would lick my heart, he would fall down poison. So I've got all sorts of troubles.
Yeah.
Shall I continue then?
Okay.
Everyone's had a chance? Okay. Als dein Weibele hat gekannt herabdrehen dem Kopf Moritzen, wird sie dir, Kalmenke, herabdrehen dem Schöpsen im Kopf mit ein Dreh. If your wife was able to turn Morris's head, or here it means to twist off his head, if you took to bother Moritz, wird sie dir kommen, herabdrehen dem Schöpsen im Kopf mit ein Dreh. She'll be able to twist off your head with one twirl. Will der darer Maler wieder gefunden gehen in Cyrilnik's Eugen. The thin painter, this is Isaac Barash, again wants to appear, he wants to get favor in the eyes of the Cyrilnik, Moritz Cyrilnik.
Sorry, overdrehen dem Kopf is not too full.
Uptraining them cup to fool, yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
If she could fool Moritz, then she
yeah.
can fool you with one
Without
one
the
twirl.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Der Jol hat nicht kein Scheps in dem Kopf. Hat ein hinnerischen Kopf, lacht einer von Gesemmel. No, this fella here, he doesn't have the head of a sheep. He's got the head of a chicken. One of the group laughs. Aber Kalman hört nicht. Oder macht sich nicht hörendig. But Kalman doesn't hear it or pretends not to hear it. Chotsch der Tisch is vervaljet mit Essenberg, even though the table is vervaljet.
Loaded?
Loaded, yeah, it has to be. I'm just looking to see if it's in my dictionary here. Vervaljet, I don't have it. Sorry. Okay, even it's loaded though with food. Kleibt der Znei von Tisch einmal rein a zeschottene breklich kichel. He selects from the table and puts in his mouth the crumbs of cookies. Und reizt sich noch mit Moritzen. And he again enters into a dispute, a discussion with Moritz. Sagt, as Merel.
Sorry,
Question?
Sorry, if you could go back to Vervaljat. I
Yeah.
was wondering, do you think it derives from Chavalia waves?
It could be.
Just inundated in a watery way. The question.
Yeah, it's not in Naborski as far as I can tell. Yeah, it could be from Chvalia, but it doesn't. You wouldn't expect the Ched to have disappeared like that. So I'm just going to check in Stuchkov also. No, it's not in Stuchkov. Yeah, I don't know it. That's not a word I know. Okay. Einer sagt, als Merel ist gewinn eure Libovnitze, und als zweiter sagt, als sie hat euch herabgedreht im Kopf. One person is telling you, is saying that Merel was your lover, but the other one is saying that she fooled you. Wer von sie sagt emes? So which of them is telling the truth? This is Kalman speaking. Moritz wird verbittener und die ganze Edelkeit geht weg von ihm in ein Augenblick. Moritz becomes a changed person, and his entire noble manner disappears in the blink of an eye. Spart rein sein Stern in Kalman's Stern. He pokes his forehead right against Kalman's forehead. Bis Kalman der fehlt wie sein Patilnitze wird zugedrückt zu der Wand until Kalman feels that his the back of his head, I guess, the back of his head is getting pressed against the wall. When er bleibt sitzen mit der abgehangene Hand, and he remains sitting there with his hands hanging down. Die breklich Mesoines fallen im Aj herunter von die Lippen auf sein Schitter Berdel. The crumbs of Mesoines, of cake.
Food.
Yeah, food in general. Specific food that isn't bread. Okay. The cookie crumbs fall out of his lips right onto his thin beard. Und auf sein Melek ponim legt sich aus Teutschreck. And on his Melek, it's from mel, flower colored, pasty. I'm going to say pasty face. There is a deathly fear lies. As der blaster jung soll nit zerquetschen dem Scherben. Afraid that this youngster is going to twist his head off. And we had that word blot again before. And it means underworld person. Yeah, this fellow's gonna. So he's suddenly afraid of him. Klemmt sich nicht, kein Sorgesfell nach nicht fallen. Beuert sich Moritz ein in ihm mit seiner kleinen Äuglich. Don't be depressed, or don't be oppressed. You're not going to have a lack of any problem. Moritz bores into him with his small little eyes. Und mit der Feuergelächter, der erzählt ihm, wie soll merken, die Nähterin hat sich mit ihm herumgeschleppt jahrelang. And with a little laugh, now a Feuergelächter, how are you going to translate foil?
Foil is not lazy.
It could be lazy, but here it's more like
Nasty.
nasty, yeah. with a
Okay.
nasty little laugh, Moritz tells him how Merle, the seamstress, dragged herself around with him for years. Nur bei der Zeit hat sie euch gehabt, das Stollerl on die Zehen. It's filling. But on the side, she also had the carpenter, the toothless carpenter. Oh no, I think it's gehat on die Zehen. I think that's what it means. It's filling. Isaac twin. Hat Moritz gemacht der Tolk. Oder oder das Stollerl. So Moritz, he had made a talk, came to an agreement, or demanded an agreement. Either it would be him or it would be the little carpenter. Der Zen, as mit ihm, wird sie nicht kennen, Voyeven, seeing that she was unable to, now what is Voyeven? Voyeven is to run wild, or that she couldn't against him, that she couldn't fight him, that she wasn't able to fight him. Sie hat sie ausgeklippen dem Itzig Zwilling on die Zehn. She had chosen Itzig Zwilling, the toothless one. Es war ihr gewesen wie ungemossen. Hat ihr nicht nachgeguckt. He was well suited to her. He did not look back at her, nicht nachgeguckt.
Wasn't watching her.
Yeah, perhaps that's it, yeah. Und wenn hat sich der Wurst der Memes, ist schon gelegen unter ihr Knappel. And when he found out the truth, he was already lying under her Knappel.
Knappel is heel.
Heel.
Yeah,
The
under her
heel of
heel.
the shoe. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the he here refers to the Itzik, Zwilling. Aber wenn ist weg in Milchama, hat gesagt, Judel Guten. Oh, this is her first husband then. Yeah, I had forgotten the name of her first husband, who was Itzik Zwilling. But when Itzik went off to war, hat gesagt, Judel Guten, und ist mehr nicht zurückgekommen. He said, Fella, goodbye. And he never returned. Hat dort in Deutschland Chasne gehabt mit der Deutschke. Back in Germany, he married a German woman, a German Jewish woman. So this is all the story that Cyrilnik is telling.
Any idea how one derives the saying "Judela Guten"? It sounds great, but
yeah, Judela Guten, which means hail and farewell or something like that.
Sure, in the context that one wondered how it comes from.
Yeah, I have not seen that one before.
Okay.
Kalman field Moritz's ungeruckten Stern über ihm, wie ein eiserner Belke. Kalman feels Moritz's forehead pressing against him, like an iron, what's a Belke? A rafter, a girder, or a beam. Doch stellt rein das Leben. Still, he puts his life in his hands and entfert. And he answers, as wenn Merels erster Mann lebt, that if Merel's first husband were still alive, wollte zurückgekommen. He would certainly have come back. Der Polotsker Radayan hat sie Mater gewesen. The judge of Polotsker Street had permitted her, weil noch anderthalben sendlich Jahr, because after 1.5 tens of years. As der Mann kommt nicht zurück from Milchama, if a husband doesn't come back from the war, is a siman as is tight. It's a sign that he has died. Von der Menfer zerlacht sich Moritz, also stark. At this answer, Moritz breaks into laughter, so strong, as muss verwerfen dem Kopf hinter, that he has to toss his head back. Und Kalman can shine abreißen von der Wand, sein Patilnitze. And finally, Kalman can pull his head away from the wall. Maybe this is a place to stop.
Yeah.